So, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. Very happy to be here, very happy to record this episode, and today it's actually going to be about me. Because as strange as it might sound, I've gotten a comment a few days ago, I think, and I'm kind of already feeling bad for actually recording this video so late, and this person asked me to just, talk about what I'm doing in a day. And this is what the video is going to be about. So it's going to be a kind of what I do in a day. Yeah. Well, or my daily routine or whatever. So it really depends though. It depends on the day, which means that during the week, my schedule is going to be different. And my day is going to be different essentially. And on the weekend, it is also like if it is a Saturday, if it is a Friday, or if it is a Sunday. It just always depends. Like I tend to structure also my weekends a bit differently from time to time. It depends on things. It depends on how I'm feeling and yeah. So during the week, when I get up, mostly depends on my shift. So when I'm having to work from 6 to 2 p.m. quite, then, I actually have to get up at 4, because I have to catch the train and so on and so on and so on, which, leaves me to then working, and trying to use my time as efficiently as I can, which means that I wake up, I don't eat in the morning, I'm fasting. So I'm doing intermittent fasting. I do it not to lose weight primarily, but I'm primarily using it to stay healthy and feel better, because I don't really believe that we always have to have food in our system. And I mean, studies have shown that it is a healthy way to, reproduce cells and, destroy those broken cells or something. I'm actually not that educated in that space, but I know that it is healthy, and it's also making me feel good. When I'm fasted, I actually tend to be able to work quite well, and so physically and mentally. And then when I eat something, I kind of get sluggish, unless I really overdo it with fasting, then my workouts are gonna be incredibly shit. Definitely something to look out for, and definitely something to keep in mind. Then, so I don't eat in the morning. I mostly, tend to wake up and really try to sleep as much as I can, meaning, around 8 hours. It's actually not often the case that I'm getting my 8 hours. Also not on the weekends, because I tend to be a bit of a, wasting time and stuff and whatnot. But I tend to just wake up, brush my teeth, and, just go on the toilet, and then I go to the train. I'm either using the bicycle to drive there, or I'm just, walking down those few meters. But when I'm then in the train, the first thing that I do, I set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes, and I do meditate. Why? Because I couldn't use this time for something else. I'm not having my PC with me, which I tend to not do when I'm working. When I'm having my shifts, When I'm doing something else, when I'm just driving somewhere, I tend to take my PC with me so that I can get, some work done, whether it is editing, designing, doing some client work, whatever it might be. I tend to do it then, because I actually really am productive when I'm on the train, which is pretty funny, because one might think that you're getting easily distracted by other people, noises, and whatnot, but, I tend to be able to focus quite well there. So I set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm meditating. Over the whole day, I'm just having to meditate 30 minutes, around 30 minutes. The past, I think month, I've not been that strict with it. So if I really feel like, I just really don't want to meditate right now, then I'm gonna cut it a bit shorter. Leaving just 2 minutes there. It is fine. It is what it is. Then I go to work, and when I'm at work, I try to eat properly, meaning relatively high in protein. I'm also just thinking about my carb intake, because I feel like that when I'm eating really, really, really a lot of carbs that I'm doing on some cheat days, which I normally have on Saturdays, I really tend to feel extremely bad, especially also the next day, in terms of actually really getting sore, like getting a sore throat and kind of feeling the inflammation. And I've also Googled things. Apparently, carbs can lead to more inflammation, and I've kind of also seen that maybe it's also just total calorie intake that kind of does that, because on my cheat days I obviously eat more than I usually do. Anyway, so what I'm normally getting is some canned beans, which, I have to think about my sodium intake and my salt intake. Canned goods often very highly in salt or very highly salted, which is not good, which is not amazing. And I've also seen that in my physique and the way I look, how my body looks, that it's not doing me too good. Also, when it comes to bloating, some people might not be able to do so. I'm kind of used to that. So at this point of time, I'm just taking 1 pack of quark, or however you pronounce it in English. I actually don't know. It's basically some sort of cream cheese, which is very, 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 very incredibly low in fat, which I look out for when I'm eating dairy products. I've actually started eating dairy products very, very recently, for the sake of just actually getting my protein and being, well, and also kind of diversifying my food intake, because I've just eaten the same things the whole day long, which I've come to the conclusion might not be as healthy as I thought, or as sustainable, especially as I thought. Health-wise, I don't know, we could argue about that. So I'm having either 1 or 2 packs of quark, which is going to be 250 grams. Yes, which is then going to be 500 grams quite maximum. I also try to not eat too much dairy because, as I said before, I just really want to diversify the food that I'm eating. And then a small or big can of beans, or at this point in time, I'm choosing lentils rather, because they're not bloating you as much, and you're still getting the protein and the good carbs, which, by the way, something that I've seen, if I don't have any carbs, meaning if I only eat the quark, this dairy product, which is, quite high in protein, 1 pack is having like 35 grams, and 2 packs therefore 70 grams of protein, which is really, really good. Then with the beans or lentils, I'm going to have additional, I think 18 or something, which leaves me quite well over the whole day, and done. Yeah, anyway. So what did I want to say? Oh yeah, if I only eat the quark, I tend to really feel bad, especially considering the workout that I'm going to have after work. I really don't feel good. I feel like that, or I notice that I need the carbs, that I need the carbs in the beans or lentils. You could also choose bread, but the problem with bread is that it is not as high in protein, and also often quite high in salt, even higher than the beans or the lentils. And so, yeah, this is what I eat quite. So at this point of time, it's actually quite every day. It is a pack of quark, which is 59 cents, and then a small can of beans or lentils or whatever, most often beans when it is a small can, which is also 49 cents, which leaves me with around $1.18 to $1.30 or something for a day of food, which is my lunch. Which, by the way, is also something that I'm considering and thinking about being as fucking cheap as I possibly can be, but still thinking about my health and still thinking about my physique and my performance actually in the quote-unquote gym or when I'm working out, which is something that I also want to quote-unquote optimize, as well as I do want to optimize my health and my well-being and, also my cognitive performance, how I'm dealing with things mentally. Of course, I don't want to be depressed and don't want to feel bad mentally as well. So, well, by the way, I've actually forgotten something. I wake up and check the news and check my phone and whatnot for actually quite some time, which is, might be a waste of time, but I use this to wake up quite, because I tend to fall asleep relatively quickly, because normally I'm not getting enough sleep as I should actually. So I wake up, check the news, get up, brush my teeth, whatsoever, go to the train, meditate, go to work, eat healthy, or at least as I consider healthy, and then I come home, then normally have some kind of fruit. Well, actually, on the way home, in the train, I don't meditate, I sometimes do, if I feel like, well, I do have some energy left, but most often I'm just checking Instagram and scrolling mindlessly through something, or reading something, or checking the news again to see whether something has changed, because, well, yeah, I actually am most often quite depleted in energy, or so to speak. Then I get home, I eat a piece of fruit or a tomato or something else that's carby, in terms of simple carbs. Don't eat pure sugar, some shit. This doesn't make any sense, actually. I really actually suggest some fruit, and then I work out just because of the energy that I'm getting, the quick energy that I'm getting from the fruit. So then my workout is quite good. Before I work out, I've also, tried pre-workouts, which is a very, very, very good option. I'm actually having some there, and I'm considering buying a new one because I've, emptied this vessel, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually a very good option to have a better workout, and also push through it more efficiently and better, and actually do more. Because I feel like taking pre-workout really makes you feel and willing to do shit, which might be due to the beta alanine I've read or whatnot. I don't know. When I work out, I do have an upper and lower body split, which means that I'm either working out the upper body or the lower body, meaning I'm either working out chest, triceps, biceps, back, yes, or legs and abs. Even though the past few days I've done it like abs and chest, and then today back and abs, as well as, triceps and biceps and whatnot. But I'm just leaving out legs because, I'm also going for a walk. I'm also doing cardio between, I would say 15 and 40 minutes each day, because I feel like it is letting me feel good. I'm sweating a bit more, and I also just burn some fat, and I see it in my physique getting better. Which means that my total workout is going to be between 1 hour and 20 minutes quite, and yesterday's workout was 2 hours and 30 minutes or 40 minutes or something, or 20 minutes. I actually don't remember, which is quite insane then, but I've really am having some problems with my chest and feeling my chest and actually working out the chest in a very good way or in a proper way. So I allocated quite a lot of time to do so. The workout was okay. Probably been wasting really a lot of time and whatnot. But yeah, so I come home, eat some piece of fruit, workout, either upper body or lower body, and I'm also having like mega sets, if you call it like them. So it's not a superset, but I'm having 3 exercises most often. Sometimes I'm also doing a superset just because it works for me. I like really high volume and, moderate to high intensity. This just works for me. It might not be the case for you. You might just be completely depleted and completely fucked, but it is something that I've seen for myself and in myself, that if I'm supersetting things, then my workout is way better, because I'm able to do way more in a way shorter amount of time. And I actually do really quite a lot, to be honest. And yeah, I work out, I try to either have a pre-workout or some caffeine or coffee, most often actually every single day, which might I also consider cycling off a bit and then cycling on again, because as you might know, you get used to the effect of caffeine, and yeah, then it is a bit of a fucked up situation if you are used to the dose that you're using and you always have to do more caffeine, and more caffeine, up to a point where there is no more actually, as I think studies have shown. So I work out, and after my workout, I eat something. I tend to eat very high volume and pretty low calories, meaning things that are high in grams basically, but really, really, really low in calories, meaning vegetables, I eat quite a lot of vegetables because I think that and feel that I'm feeling better and performing better. Also mentally, because I know that I'm eating healthy and I know that I'm eating something that I'm supposed to eat also quite a lot of. And so I do that. And also when I'm snacking, I just grab a carrot or grab some tomato or a cucumber or whatever I'm just having at home actually. So I work out, eat something, then I shower, and then I record and design and upload everything and make everything ready and maybe do something for the next day if I'm having some time left. When I'm showering, I most often listen to some music, because I just like it. And when I'm also working out, I tend to listen to music or watch some YouTube videos just to either get some information or just chill out a bit and feel good about myself. After recording, I tend to, brush my teeth and then meditate for the rest of, or for, the amount of time that I'm having left. Meaning if I meditate for 15 minutes in the morning when I'm in a train, then I'm gonna have 15 minutes left. So I'm doing this before I head to bed, and then I actually go to bed and sleep and hopefully fall asleep quite quickly, which tends to be the case because I'm fucking exhausted when I come home and when I'm done with everything. I also tend to, while I'm eating, learn for my driver's license and do some quizzes and shit. So I really try to maximize the amount of things that I'm doing in a day. And on a weekend, it is quite like, okay, chill a bit and please don't exhaust yourself, not just as you're doing it during the week. And sometimes I'm overdoing things, as I did this week as well, and feeling really, really, really bad. And going to bed on Friday at quite 8 p.m. because I've been feeling so bad. I also felt quite ill a bit. Not something to suggest. In terms of recording and designing and uploading and everything, it really depends on the shift. Sometimes I'm doing it before I'm working, when I'm having my, 9:30 to 7:30 p.m. shift, then I'm gonna do some things beforehand, which means that I'm gonna get up between, either 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., something like that. I tended to actually get up every single day at 6 a.m., but I've seen why should I do this? I don't need that much time, and sleeping more makes a lot of sense for me. So yeah, this is quite what I do in a day. I think that I don't really do much. Something that I have to think about is drinking enough, because during the week, I actually don't drink anything. And I also need to think about calories, because during the day, I actually don't eat that much, and I also don't need that much. But I kind of also have to sustain myself, and anyway, I think that's actually quite it, what I'm doing in a day. And sometimes I add things, sometimes I lose some habits which may or may not be that significant. But anyway, gonna see you the next time. I hope that you've liked it, and I wish you the best. See you soon. Stay healthy.